Pia is a passionate and fiercely independent photographer who runs a portrait studio in the heart of London. Her artistic vision is unwavering, but that same dedication to her craft is also the reason her business is struggling. She refuses to compromise by taking on mundane assignments like passport photos. Her loyal best friend and only employee, Jay, remains by her side, despite the studio sinking further into financial turmoil. One hectic morning, Pia's routine is thrown off balance when she receives a call from her no-nonsense mother, reminding her of an important appointment she had completely forgotten about. In a mad rush to leave the studio, chaos ensues. She spills coffee all over herself, turns the place into a mess, and, in her frenzy, leaves wearing just flip-flops and a pair of jersey shorts. As she hurriedly jumps onto a bus, one of her flip-flops slips off, leaving one foot bare. By the time she realizes it, the bus has already taken off, making it too late to retrieve it. At the meeting point, her mother and younger sister, Sonal, stare at her in utter disbelief. "You couldn't at least wear shoes?" her mother scolds. Pia sighs, brushing it off with a simple, "It's a long story." The real reason for this gathering soon becomes clear when their mother leads them to a local bank, unlocking a safety deposit filled with breathtaking heirloom jewelry, pieces that have been in their family for generations. She ceremoniously presents Sanal with the jewelry for her upcoming wedding, then turns to Pia with a different message. "When you get married, you can have all of these," she tells her, "but until then they stay in the box." Pia's heart sinks. "And what if I don't get married? What if I don't want to?" she asks. To her, marriage and children would be nothing but distractions from building her career and growing her studio. She wants to be the independent woman her mother raised her to be, not just a bride waiting for tradition to dictate her future. Sonal, rolling her eyes, insists that Pia simply hasn't met the right man yet. Frustrated, Pia turns to leave, but her mother stops her, attempting to explain why love, marriage, and family are important. Before the conversation can reach a resolution, Pia, entirely by accident, leans against the bank's alarm system with her hip, setting off a deafening siren. Moments later, they are unceremoniously escorted out of the bank. Back at her studio, Pia is confronted with yet another challenge. A persistent customer insists on getting a passport photo, despite Pia making it clear that her studio only specializes in artistic portraits. When the customer grows rude, Jay doesn't hesitate to throw him out. But once the dust settles, Jay presents Pia with yet another overdue bill from their creditors, the bank. He reminds her that their financial struggles are mounting and that accepting smaller everyday photography jobs could help keep the studio afloat. Pia, however, refuses to budge. To her, this studio was built for art, not quick cash. She won't let go of her vision, no matter how dire their situation gets. As Pia and Jay sit in the studio, drowning in financial worries, she casually mentions how her mother has locked away a box of exquisite family jewelry, one that will only be hers when she gets married. This sparks an idea in Jay's mind. With only 4 weeks left before the studio is forced to shut down, he jokes that the solution is simple. Pia needs to get married immediately, or at least find a date, because selling those heirloom jewels could solve all their problems in one go. Determined to make this happen, Jay drags Pia to an upscale art gallery exhibition, hoping she'll meet a potential suitor. But Pia, unimpressed by every man Jay points out, shoots them all down. Frustrated, Jay finally asks her, "When was the last time you were actually in love?" After a moment of hesitation, Pia admits it was back in her school days, with her first love, Charlie. Intrigued, Jay presses her for details about their breakup. Pia explains that their lives took different paths. Charlie, a small-town guy, wanted to stay in Welwyn and run his family's restaurant, while she had big dreams of studying and living in London. By the time she returned home for Christmas that year, Charlie had already moved on with another girl named Lucy. She then adds, almost as an afterthought, that Charlie is set to be the best man at Sonal's wedding. The next day, Pia and Jay visit her family home, where they are greeted by her ever-efficient mother and excited sister, Sonal. Sonal promptly hands Pia an overwhelming itinerary, also referred to as a wedding Bible, filled with plans and schedules, informing her that they need to head to her fiancé Sam's house for a special family gathering. There, the family consults Pandit RBS Fuga, a well-respected spiritual guru, to bless the upcoming union. But in an unexpected twist, the guru turns his attention to Pia, reading her palm and prophesying that she will meet her true love within her next 5 dates. Pia is skeptical, but her family takes it as a divine sign and try persuading her to believe this is going to happen. At Sonal's extravagant pre-wedding engagement party, Pia's heart nearly stops when she spots Charlie on stage, confidently playing the role of the MC. It's the first time they've seen each other in years, and the sight of him throws her off balance. Jay urges her to go talk to him, but Pia stubbornly refuses, insisting that if anyone should make the first move, it should be Charlie. To her surprise, Charlie makes the first move, walking up to her. For a fleeting moment, she feels herself flush under his gaze. Just as the conversation is about to gain momentum, they are abruptly interrupted by Lily, Charlie's apparent girlfriend. He introduces Pia as an old friend, and politely asks Lily to give them 5 minutes to talk. But the moment is already spoiled. A pang of jealousy creeps in as Pia processes the fact that Charlie has moved on. So when he casually suggests they catch up later, she pointedly ignores the offer, leaving him hanging as she heads off to grab a drink instead. Later, during a family photo session, Sonal, always the planner, comes up with a bold idea. She suggests that each family member pick a potential suitor for Pia, and Pia will then choose a winner to bring as her date to the wedding, an idea she is still against. The next morning, Pia vents to Jay about Charlie. Seeing him with another woman made it clear he has moved on, and if he's moved on, so can she. In a moment of impulsive determination, she sends a message to her family. "Bring on the men. I'm ready." If Charlie has a girlfriend, then she'll play along with the matchmaking game and find someone new too. Pia's first blind date, arranged by her father, is with Sid, the wealthy heir to a billionaire empire. At first, the idea of dating someone with deep pockets seems like a silver lining, especially with her photography studio struggling to stay afloat. However, the evening quickly takes a turn when Sid lays out his true intentions. He isn't looking for love, just a wife to accompany him to social events in exchange for financial backing for her business. No romance, no emotional connection, just a transactional partnership. Disgusted by his arrogance and complete lack of sincerity, Pia decides to leave him with a parting gift. She excuses herself to the restroom, but instead of freshening up, she deliberately sabotages Sid's high-tech toilet, clogging it until water starts to overflow. Within minutes, his luxurious bathroom is a flooded mess, water seeping into the hallways of his pristine mansion. Sid's panicked reaction is priceless, a stark contrast to Pia's calm and collected exit. With one last knowing glance, she picks up her purse and walks out, leaving Sid to deal with the chaos, a fitting metaphor for her rejection of his shallow, materialistic world. Later that evening, Pia's phone buzzes with a call from her sister, Sonal. There's a new task at hand. Since Pia is the maid of honor and Charlie is the best man, Sonal wants them to work together on preparing the party favors for the wedding. To Pia's shock, Sonal also reveals that Charlie will be coming to her studio the next day to get started. The news unsettles her, but before she can fully process it, another call comes through, this time from her mother, eager to set her up on yet another blind date. Pia's second date is with Akshay, someone she vaguely remembers from family gatherings. Unlike Sid, Akshay is polite, attentive, and genuinely interested in her photography and career aspirations. As the evening unfolds, Pia finds herself slowly letting her guard down. For the first time, she allows herself to enjoy the moment, even feeling a spark between them. As they lean in and start kissing, Akshay whispers, "Lakshmi." Pia freezes. Confused, she pulls back. "What did you just say?" she asks. Looking guilty, Akshay confesses that he wasn't actually interested in her. His heart belongs to her mother, Lakshmi. He reveals that he agreed to the date as a way to be closer to Pia's mother, with whom he has secretly been involved. Dumbfounded, Pia stares at him, trying to process the absurdity of the situation. Anger, disbelief, and sheer irony all crash over her at once. Of all the things that could go wrong, her date being in love with her mom wasn't one she saw coming. The next day, while lounging in her studio and venting to Jay about the disaster that was her date with Akshay, Pia's phone lights up with a message from Sonal. Charlie's on his way. Instantly, Pia straightens up. "Act busy," she tells Jay, as if that would somehow make her seem less affected by the news. When Charlie arrives, he comes bearing a peace offering, pastries from his family's restaurant. Pia gives him a tour of the studio, and at one point, Charlie asks if she'd be willing to take a few photos of him. As she adjusts her camera and directs him into position, their casual conversation takes an unexpected turn. "Do you have a boyfriend?" Charlie asks. Pia, not missing a beat, replies, "No, just dating around." Then, with a playful smirk, she adds, "Why? Are you jealous?" Charlie raises an eyebrow. "What?" Realizing what she just blurted out, Pia quickly backtracks, pretending she didn't say it. But Charlie isn't letting it slide. "Say that again?" he teases. Flustered, Pia brushes it off and changes the subject. "Why are you even here, Charlie?" He doesn't dodge the question. "To work on the party favors," he says, then pauses before adding, "and because I wanted to see you." Pia's heart skips a beat. Caught off guard, she hesitates before asking, "Why?" Charlie meets her gaze, and for the first time he lets his guard down. "Because I still think about you." The weight of his words hits Pia like a tidal wave. But instead of acknowledging the emotions stirring within her, she hides behind a smirk and a quick excuse. "Oh, don't mind me," she says, snapping another picture. "I just ask random questions during shoots. It helps bring out authentic reactions." But even as she says it, she knows the truth. Charlie's words have already shaken her more than she's willing to admit. Returning to the task at hand, the party favors, Pia pitches an idea. A photo album documenting the bride and groom's journey from childhood to the present. Charlie would handle Sam's side, while Pia would compile Sonal's photos. Charlie is immediately on board with the concept and even offers to cover the expenses, but Pia adamantly refuses. Despite the wedding Bible explicitly stating that they must collaborate, she insists on handling the costs herself, determined to maintain her independence. For her third blind date, Sonal introduces Pia to Milo Boner, a charismatic yoga instructor and aspiring actor. Though initially skeptical of his overly spiritual lifestyle, Pia finds herself drawn to his confidence and free-spirited nature. Milo challenges her to walk across hot coals, presenting it as both a physical test and a metaphor for overcoming fear. Just as she starts appreciating his unconventional outlook, he drops a bombshell. He's a firm believer that the earth is flat. The moment instantly shatters any romantic prospects, and Pia realizes yet again how difficult it is to find someone she truly connects with. After a yoga session, Charlie offers Pia a ride home. The car ride quickly turns into a long overdue conversation about their past, reopening old wounds. Pia accuses Charlie of moving on too quickly when she left for university in London, expressing her hurt that he never once visited her. Charlie, however, insists that she was the one who truly walked away. He reveals that he never actually moved on, but had always waited for her, just as they had promised before she left. He explains that staying in Welwyn wasn't a choice, it was a responsibility. His father needed him to run the family restaurant, and abandoning that duty was never an option. As emotions run high and they finally arrive at Pia's house, an unexpected voice interrupts them from the back seat. Lily. To their shock, she had been lying there the entire time, silently listening. Sitting up, she casually suggests they should just reconcile already, since they're clearly still into each other, adding that they'd make an adorable couple. The revelation leaves Pia stunned and furious. Without another word, she storms out of the car and into her house. Later that night, as she flips through her camera, reviewing the photos she recently took of Charlie, she finds herself lingering on his face, a flood of memories rushing back. For the first time, she begins to question whether she has been too stubborn in avoiding a reconciliation. During a makeup session the next day, Sonal and their mother confront Pia, accusing her of being too picky, which is why all the blind dates have ended in disaster. Pia, already on edge, finally snaps. She lists the glaring flaws in each date, saving the most shocking revelation for last. Her second date, Akshay, isn't even interested in her. He's in love with their mother. The confession sends shockwaves through the room, exposing a secret no one saw coming. But Pia isn't done. Frustrated by the family's obsession with keeping up appearances, she drops another bombshell. Her parents have actually been divorced for over 15 years. The happy family image they've maintained for the outside world? Nothing but a well-crafted illusion. The staged family photos, the forced holiday gatherings, it was all a facade to convince people they were the perfect, thriving household. As if that weren't enough, Pia takes a deep breath and makes one last confession. Her photography studio isn't the success everyone assumes it to be. In reality, it's on the verge of bankruptcy, struggling to stay afloat. For the first time, she lays her truth bare, stripping away every pretense she had been holding on to. Just when Pia's photography studio seems doomed to fail, an unexpected twist breathes new life into her business. One day, a group of young, trendy clients books a session, drawn to her artistic approach. As Pia passionately explains to a walk-in customer yet again why she refuses to take mundane passport photos, the group secretly records the interaction. Amused and impressed by her unwavering artistic integrity, they decide to share a behind-the-scenes video of their experience online. What starts as a casual social media post quickly explodes into something far bigger than Pia could have ever imagined. The video, showcasing her unique style, fiery passion, and the vibrant energy of her studio, goes viral. People across the internet fall in love with her raw authenticity and her ability to capture moments that feel truly alive. Almost overnight, Pia's once struggling business is flooded with bookings, transforming her from an overlooked photographer to a rising industry sensation. Meanwhile, as the family scrambles to finalize preparations for Sonal's wedding, Pia stumbles upon a surprising sight: her mother and Akshay in a quiet, intimate moment. But instead of reacting with shock or disapproval, Pia simply smiles, finally accepting that her mother deserves happiness, even if it comes in an unexpected form. In the film's heartfelt conclusion, Pia and Charlie find their way back to each other during Sonal's wedding. As they steal a quiet moment away from the celebration, Pia finally admits what she has been denying all along. Despite everything, Charlie is the one for her. Charlie, without hesitation, confesses that he has never stopped thinking about her. Their unspoken feelings finally surface, leading to a long-awaited kiss. Then, with a teasing smile, Pia asks Charlie on a date, her fifth and final one. In that instant, the spiritual guru's prophecy comes full circle. She has finally found her soulmate. The movie wraps up with Pia and Charlie at her photography studio, where a new sign proudly announces that they now offer passport photos. As they celebrate Pia's rising success, marked by her feature in a prestigious magazine, it's clear that she has found both professional achievement and personal happiness. And that's a wrap on this movie recap. If you love films like this and want more, be sure to check out the end screens for your next watch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now.